எனக்கு ஐடென்டி இல்லாதாலம்மா எனக்கு ஒரு உதவியே கிடைக்கிறதில்ல. எங்கே போனாலும் எனக்கு ஐடென்டி தான் முதல் கேட்குறாங்க. சமுத்தியாலே உதவி கிடையாது.
காணி பிரச்சனைகளுக்கு போனாலும் அதுக்கு தான் கேட்குறாங்க. அப்போ அதுக்காக நாங்கள் 2-3 தடவை முயற்சி பண்ணி பார்த்தோம், எடுக்கலாம் போயிட்டு.
எனக்கு பதிவு இல்லாதால அவருக்கு இப்போ இந்த விளையாட்டு போட்டிகள் அதுகள் இதுகள் எல்லாம் அவர் கலந்து கொள்ளலை.
லோனுகள் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு 2 பேரும் ஒன்று சேர்ந்து லோன் எடுக்கிறேன்னு சொன்னால் ரெஜிஸ்டர் பதிவு வேணுமெண்டாங்க.
When Sudaroli, women's group in Vipulanandapuram in Mailambavali Patiklo, came to know that many people in their village did not have birth certificates, marriage certificates, and also death certificates of deceased family members, they decided to do something about it. 21-year-old Suhanthi, the leader of the group with no prior experience in dealing with government officials, visited the Eravarpattu divisional secretary with a letter of request and list of people who did not possess the required documents.
இதுக்கு முதல்ல அங்கே போய் பழக்கவும் இல்லை எனக்கு. நான் அதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் அங்கே போகிற இந்த பெரியாக்களை சந்திக்கிறதால எங்களுக்கு பயம்.
பொதுவாக கிராமங்களை பொறுத்த மட்டும் கிராமங்கள்லேருந்து இங்கே எங்களை சந்திக்க வரக்குள்ள கிராம தலைவர்கள் கிராமத்தில் ஏற்கனவே ஐடென்டி பண்ண மாட்டார்கள் ஒரு பாப்புலர் நாட்கள் வந்து தான் அவங்களோட வேலையை செய்கிறதுக்காக வருவாங்க, அல்லது அவங்களோட ஊருக்காரத்துக்கு வாரவங்க. இப்படி சின்ன வயதிலேயே இப்படி வாடுறது மிகவும் குறைவு. இப்போ நாங்கள் எதிர்பார்க்குறது தான். இப்போ அவங்களாகவே வந்து அவங்களாகவே செயற்படுத்தக்குள்ள தான் அது உண்மையிலேயே அவங்க ஒரு கான்ஃபிடென்ட்டை உருவாக்கும்ன்றதில் எங்களுக்கு நம்பிக்கை.
With the approval of the divisional secretary, the group wrote a letter to the Legal Aid Commission. They visited the village and held a meeting. The villagers were also informed of what documents were needed. The group prepared and printed a notice to further educate the community. On the day of the mobile service, Sudaroli members wore blue saris so that they can be identified by the public easily. Jagannathan and his wife Parameshwari were together for 33 years and had 2 children who were waiting to be married. Overall, 18 children received their birth certificates and 40 persons were registered to get their national identity cards. It was a joyous occasion for 10 couples to finally receive their marriage certificates. Sudaroli group made sure that it was a special day for the newly married. The groom just could not hide his happiness.
அவங்க இலவசமாக எல்லாம் வழங்கினதே ஒரு பெரிய சந்தோஷம் எங்களுக்கு. இல்லாட்டி வெளியிடங்களுக்கு ஒரு விவாக பதிவு போகிறா 5000 ரூபா கேட்குறாங்க. ஆனால் இவங்கட எங்கட இதுக்காக இலவசமாக மக்களுக்கு அதை செய்து கொடுத்தவங்க. எங்கட நலமான சேவைக்கு வந்து எங்களோட பின்னேற மட்டும் அவங்க இருந்தவங்க. அது எங்களுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய சந்தோஷமாக இருந்தது. எங்களோட அழைப்பேற்று அவங்க வந்து இருந்துட்டு போனாங்க.
This group was set up under the Women's Wealth and Influence Project, funded by the EU and implemented by Save the Children and YMCA Patiklo. What is special about this group is that they have used their own limited resources to address an issue that affect them.
எங்களுக்கு நிறைய சந்தோஷத்துகளை நாங்கள் எதிர்பார்த்து நல்லா இருக்கிறோம். இன்னும் திரும்ப நாங்கள் நல்லா இருப்போம்ன்றது இந்த இது கிடைச்சதால எங்களுக்கு நல்ல
கிடைத்தது ஒரு சந்தோஷம். ஏனெண்டா பிள்ளோட படிப்புக்கு அதுக்கு முக்கியமாக வேணும், ஐடென்டிட்டிக்கு முக்கியமாக வேணும், லோன் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு முக்கியமாக வேணும். இந்த ரிஜிஸ்டர் பதிவு கிடைச்சது இவ்வளவு சந்தோஷம்.
சுவந்தி ஊடாக கொண்டுறப்பட அந்த மொபைல் சர்வீஸ் போய் பார்க்கக்குள்ள எல்லா அறிஞரும் பக்காவாக சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த நல்ல முறையில் ஒழுங்குபடுத்தப்பட்டு செய்யப்பட்டிருந்த காரணத்தினால எங்களுக்கு திருப்திகரமாக இருந்துச்சு. அது எங்களுக்கு செலவும் இல்லாமல் இருந்துச்சு, அரசு வந்து செலவும் இல்லாமல் இருந்துச்சு. எனவே உபகரண லீடர்ஷிப் தான் நாங்கள் எதிர்பார்க்குறோம்.
Today, the villagers of Vipulanandapuram and adjoining villages are enjoying their right to identity, to be someone, thanks to the Sudaroli group, something which they could not have done as individuals. Such is the power of women's influence.
This group of women from the south of Sri Lanka has one thing in common. They are all married to fishermen who go out to sea on multi-day boats. For years they stayed at home and were not employed until Women's Wealth and Influence Project, funded by the EU, conceived and implemented by Save the Children, reached their village through local organisation Indicos. From a distance, it appears to be yet another women's group in a village. But a closer look will reveal it's not just another women's group. So, how does one join? The group form itself. This group started with 5 women and now has 14 members. Women invite other women to join the group. If the members feel someone would be a good group member, they invite the person. But of course, growing their own group has taken time and a little work. Just ask the group leader, Tushari Chandima.
ව්‍යාපෘතිය හඳුනා ගත්තට පස්සේ ඇත්තටම හිතුණා මම විතරක් මේ කාරණා තේරුමක් නැහැ. අපි මේ දීවර පරිසරයත් එක්ක මේ කාන්තාව නිකන් ඉන්නවනේ. ඉඳ හිතුණා කණ්ඩායමක් හදා ගන්න ඕනි කියලා. ගොඩක් ප්‍රශ්න ඇති වුණා. නිවස් වලට ගිහලා කතා කරාම සමහරක් අයගේ ස්වාමිපුරුෂ කැමති වුණේ නැහැ මේ දෙයට. එයාලා බය වුණා මේකත් ණය දෙන සමිතියක් වෙන්නේ නැති කියලා. ඉතින් ගොඩක් මේගොල්ලන්ට කරුණු පැහැදිලි කරලා මේක ණය දෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේක තමන් විසින්ම මොන හරි අපි එකතු වෙලා කරනකොට මොකක් හරි කරගන්න පුළුවන් කියන අදහස එයාලට ගොඩක්ම තේරුම් කරලා දෙන්න තමාරු වුණා ඉස්සෙල්ලාම. පස්සේ දෙන්න තුන් දෙනා එකතු කරගෙන කණ්ඩායම හදාගත්තා.
The group has many ways to support each other, such as sharing knowledge, skills and information.
පාපිසි මම දැනගෙන හිටියේ කරන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ මං කිව්වා මම පාපිසි කියලා දෙන්නම්. අපි පටිගෙන නැල්ල මේව කරගමු. එතකොට පාපිස්සක් අපි 150කට 175කට මිස් අලෙවි කරනවා. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන් ගෙදරමනේ ඉන්නේ.
Each one on their own has started income generation activities. For example, Rasika makes paper bags, which are in high demand during the temple festivals. She also sews bed sheets and baby blankets and makes wicks for oil lamps. Tushari makes food preserves, for which she has a good market among the fishermen who go out to sea on multi-day boats. Tushari also has a 3-wheeler and runs a school service. Auntie Soma, the eldest in the group, is born to knit. Her hands are never idle. In the bus, during group meetings, and even during this interview, she was busy knitting lace.
ඒ සේරන්ට වැඩි හොඳයි මට මේ සමිතිය. ණයක් නැහැ, බයක් නැහැ අපි සෙන්ට කියාව අපි කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. මට පාපිසි පුහුණු හැම මට තුසාරිය ඇවිල්ලා ප්‍රේම මෙහෙම ගහලා අපේ කණ්ඩායමම ප්‍රේම හදලා දීලා පටික් ගෙනල්ලා යයිම අපට දුන්න පටි කිලෝ 5 දීලා මුලින්ම පටන් ගත්තේ එහෙමයි මම.
By working together and making bulk purchases, the women get the best price for materials. Members find their own markets but do help each other to thrive on their businesses. Once they started weaving and making money, they decided that each woman would contribute 100 rupees each month to a common fund. Any member can borrow money from the fund without having to pay an interest when they return the money. When a family member falls ill or needs to pay electricity and water bills, or when they need to buy raw material for weaving, members borrow from this till. But they return the money at the next meeting.
එකතු කරපු සල්ලි වලින් ඉස්කෝලේ යන්නේ නැති දරුවෙකුට පොත් පැන්සල් පෑන් ඒවා අරන් දීලා සපත්තු අරන් දීලා මේ ඉස්කෝලේ යන්න සලස්සලා දුන්නා. ඒක තමයි අපිට තියෙන සතුට කාරණාවක් වෙන්නේ.
One of the greatest achievements of this group is advocating with the government officials and the Member of Parliament to get water and electricity to one area of the village that had never been served by utilities.
මේ නිවසේට විදුලිය තිබුණේ නැහැ. මෙතන ගෙවල් 7ක් විතර තියෙනවා. ඒ හතරම අපේ ගේ විතරයි මෙතන හදලා තිබ්බේ. මේ කණ්ඩායම කට්ටිය එකතු වෙලා ගිහිල්ලා ඔව් ඒ කට්ටිය සම්බන්ධ කරගෙන තමයි මේකට විදුලිය ලබා දුන්නේ. ඒක තමයි ඉතින් මේ කණ්ඩායමක් වශයෙන් ඒ කට්ටිය එකතු වෙලා කරපු ගමන කරපු සේවය.
The group is confident that even if the project comes to an end, their income generation activities will continue and their power will grow. While each member has her own dreams, as a group they have bigger plans. They hope someday to campaign and elect one of their members to local public office.
දැන් ගමෙන් පිට කෙනෙක් ඇවිල්ලා ඒ නියෝජිතයෙන් වශයෙන් පත් වුණාට වැඩිය හොඳයි ගමෙන් කෙනෙක් පත් වෙන එක. ගමේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම දේවල් දන්නේ ගමේ කෙනා. අඩුපාඩුද පිට්ටනියක් අවශ්‍ය නම් පිට්ටනිය. දැන් ඔය අපිට මේ පැත්තට අවශ්‍යයි ග්‍රාමීය රෝහලක්. ඒ වගේ දේවල් දන්නේ ගමේ කෙනා. පිට කෙනා දන්නේ නැහැ. එයා ඇවිල්ලා නිකන් ඔය මොනවා හරි දෙනවයි කියලා දීලා යන එක තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ගමේ කෙනා ගමේ හැංගීම දන්නවා. මේ දේ අඩුපාඩුයි මේ දේ මම කරන්න ඕන මොනවා හරි ක්‍රමයකින් මේව ඉල්ලන්න ඕන කියන එක ගමේ කෙනා අනිවාර්යෙන් දන්නවා. ඒ නිසා ඉතින් ගමේ කෙනෙක්ම තමයි නියෝජිතයෙක් වශයෙන් පත් වෙන්න ඕන.
The group has earned respect not only from the villagers but also from the local government officials. They stay united as they lead their families out of poverty and discover that together they can influence government to serve their needs. Meet Tushari Chandima from Deundara, southern Sri Lanka. She is the wife of a fisherman and the mother of 2 children. She is also one of the very few female tuk-tuk drivers in Sri Lanka. But her life has not been a joyride. Like for all fisher families, life is uncertain. Some days, when there was a good catch, they had money. Other days, there was no money in the house. Only worry that her husband might be lost at sea.
මගේ රැකියාව දිව රැකියාව මම මුද්‍ර ගියා මාසයක් මුද්‍ර දින්නවා ගොඩක් කවදානමක් තියෙන මුද්‍රසාය මාළු වල්ලන්න අපි ගොඩක් ඈත මුද්‍රට යනවා ලංකාවේ මුද්‍ර සීමාවේ ඈතට ජාත්‍යන්තර මුද්‍ර සීමාවෙන් පිටතට යනවා.
Her husband was twice arrested in India for crossing into Indian waters. He was in prison for months. Tushari was forced into debt to feed her children. Life began to change when she set up the Ekamuthu Women's Group under the Women's Wealth and Influence Project by Save the Children. One of the group members, Nishanti, knew how to weave floor mats and taught all the group members. They worked together and soon started to make money. At first, they each contributed 10 rupees. Now each woman contributes 100 rupees every time the group meets. Any group member can use the pooled money in an emergency, such as when a child falls sick, or to buy school books or any other need. They don't consider this alone, and each member is keen to repay the fund quickly. Tushari's strength is her group of 14 women. Their support and encouragement during her time of difficulty gave her courage not to give up. They encouraged her to do something that no one in her village has ever done.
නායකත්ව පුහුණුවත් එක්ක හම්බුණා සංවර්ධන පුහුණුව. ඒ වෙලෙදි මම තීරණය කරා මට වෙනස් දෙයක් කරන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක. ඉතින් මම හිතුවේ ත්‍රිවිලයක් කරන් පාසල් ප්‍රවාහන සේවයක් පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා.
She weighed the pros and cons and calculated it would be profitable. She also wanted to be independent, successful, and at the same time to be able to give her time to her children. Other mothers trusted her to take their children safely to and from school each day. Tushari takes other fares while the kids are in school. The tuk-tuk business has proven so profitable that Tushari has branched into small-scale food processing for additional income, allowing her to pay the tuk-tuk lease and provide a steady source of income to her family. Tushari has a unique way of saving each day for the monthly house expenses. In different tins, she puts aside money to pay for electricity, water, school expenses, and for the group fund.
මම ගොඩාක් පුංචි කාලේ ඉඳන් දුක් විඳා. ඇත්තටම මට කරන්න තිබුණු දේවල් කරගන්න බැරි වුණා ඒ කාලේ. මං ඉගෙන ගත්තා මට ඉගෙන ගන්න බැරි වුණා. මං අඩු වයසින් විවාහ වුණා. ඇත්තටම මගේ මේ දැන් තමයි මේ දේවල් ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ. මං ආසාවෙන් හිටිය සමාජයේ වැඩ කටයුතු කරන්න. මට ඒ අවස්ථාව මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය හරහා ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. කණ්ඩායම් ගත වුන් මේ ගමේ පොදු වැඩ කරන්න.
Tushari is her family's strength. Harish can now go out to sea, feeling confident that his family will be well taken care of in his absence. Their next plan is to build a house of their own on the land they have purchased with their increased income. No longer impoverished and in debt, Tushari is driving her family to a happy and prosperous future together.
This is my mother, Amalanayaki. She's 42 years old. She has a clothes shop in Aithimalai in Manmunai, West Patiklo, and I am happy to tell her story to you. Our village was affected by the war. My father was a farmer and also he did small businesses selling cattle. Life was difficult, but we were a happy family. From 2007 to 2009, we were displaced many times and we lost our property. During the war, although there was fighting and sounds of bombing, my father was there. I always had the assurance that father will protect me.
என்றாலும் எவ்வளோ வெடிச்சத்தம் கேட்டாலும் எங்களை பாதுகாக்கிறதுக்கு எங்களோட அப்பா இருக்காருன்ற நம்பிக்கை எங்களுக்கு எப்பயுமே இருந்தது.
Then my mother received a sewing machine from an NGO and started sewing clothes. She took them around in her bicycle and sold them. I helped her when I could, but she insisted that I focus on my studies, and she did everything to feed us, clothe us, and send us to school.
இந்த திட்டம் ஆரம்பிக்கும் முதல் நான் சரியான ஒரு வேதனையான சூழ்நிலையில் இருந்தேன். நான் என்னென்னு சொன்னால், இந்த யுத்தத்தால் பாதிக்கப்பட்டதில் அதிகமாக பாதிக்கப்பட்ட நான் ஒருத்தி. அதில் 2009 என் கணவரை காணாமல் போனது. அப்போ அவரை தேடுற பணி கூட. அதே நேரத்தில் பிள்ளைகள் சின்ன ஆக்களாக இருந்தவங்க, அவங்கள படிக்க வைக்கணும், அவங்கள பார்க்கணும். அப்படி ஒரு சூழ்நிலை இருந்தும் அவங்கள சரியாக கவனிக்கலாத ஒரு இதில் ஒரு என்னால் ஒரு குடும்பத்தை சரியாக கொண்டு, என்னென்னு சொன்னால் நல்ல ஒரு விதமாக இருந்த ஒரு குடும்பம் திடீரென்று எனக்கு குடும்ப சுமை கூட என்னால் அந்த எதிர்காலத்தை எப்படி கொண்டு போகிறேன்னு தெரியாத ஒரு சூழ்நிலையில் தான் நான் அந்த நேரத்தில் இருந்தேன்.
எங்களை அம்மா அப்பா சேர்த்து வச்சிருந்த சொத்தை
When father went missing, mother did not know what to do. All she did was sell my father's assets to feed us because she did not know how to run his business.
அப்பாக்காக கொடுத்தவங்க எங்களையும் அந்த காசுல தான் எங்களையும் படிப்பிச்சவங்க.
In 2013, she joined a women's group called Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the name of the Hindu goddess for wealth. This group gave my mother opportunities to expand her business. She also received trainings. In the group, there were 14 others like her. They discussed their issues and found ways to address them.
என்னால் தனியாக ஒரு தொழிலை தொடங்கலுமென்ற ஒரு தன்னம்பிக்கை வந்திருக்குது. மற்றது எதை வேணுமென்றாலும் நான் செய்யலாமென்ற ஒரு நிலைக்கு நான் வந்துட்டேன். குழுக்களால் சேர்ந்து நிறைய விஷயங்களை எங்களால் கொண்டு போகக்கூடிய மாதிரி இருக்குது. எனக்கு ஆசை இன்னும் இந்த தையல் கலையை விருத்தி செய்யணும். என்னென்ன வழியில் நான் காசு சம்பாதிக்கலுமோ அந்த அளவுக்கு நான் கஷ்டப்படுத்தி முன்னேறணுன்றது தான் என் ஆசை. அதுக்கு நிறைய எல்லார சப்போர்ட்டும் எனக்கு கிடைச்சி கொண்டிருக்குது. அவங்களோட ஆசீர்வாதத்தோட நல்ல மனசுகளோட என்னை ஆசீர்வாதம் பண்ணுறவங்க நிறைய பேர் இருக்கிறாங்க. அவங்களோட ஆலோசனைகளின் படியும் நிறைய நான் நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கேன்.
I am amazed by my mother's courage. It was after joining the group that she learned to expand her business and open this shop. She now earns about 20,000 rupees a month. She has obtained a life insurance of which she has named me as the beneficiary. She also saves 2,500 rupees monthly while reinvesting about 5,000 into her business. Mother says that she wants to employ 2 women who have suffered like her and help them come up in life. She, together with her Lakshmi group, even got the road to our village constructed. She is just amazing. In 2014, a local women's organization felicitated her as one of the best female entrepreneurs of the district. My mother is the best mother in the world. When father went missing, we were desperate. She had the courage to fight that challenge to live and to educate me. Mrs. Amalanayaki Amalraj. I am so proud to call her mom.